Bryan Sellers has gone round the outside, and that's for the lead.
And for Bryan Sellers and his teammates, Madison Snow, Corey Lewis, they win at Sebring.
The car has been on such a roll, it's almost combat between the walls. How do you guys gear up mentally?
When you come to a street course, you kind of have to flip a switch and you have to be willing to push and attack. And if you're off the walls more than a couple inches, you're giving up lap time. Like you said, you have to be ready to come in here, and it's a war. It's combat all the time. It's more than just the driving. You have to be on all aspects of your game. These tracks usually bring out the best in everybody.
But the track, while it looks relatively smooth, is really very bumpy, isn't it?
It's extremely bumpy. I mean, you can see the undulations in the road. If you look carefully as we're walking away, you can see tire marks where the cars hit, where they bottom. We have to balance the bumps. We have to balance the turn-in points to make sure you're not wide at your apex when you eventually get to sewers.
Look down here. You don't see this on many racetracks. This is the apex. This is the inside of the line there.
This is one of the things you have to look at when you go to a street course. You have to look at the crown and the roads, whether it's in the rain, in the dry. What happens if you place the right front over the top of it? If you're to power before you get on the sewer grate, how the car responds. You have to kind of backtrack and look what's led you to this point, where the apex is, and kind of what the repercussions are if you're wide at these areas.
Oh, it's the 85 car! There's a car off in the wall.
Let's talk about these walls. Basically designed not to move, and they don't, especially when we're used to tracks where we always talk about exceeding the track limit.
I think that's one of the things that makes street races important, is radius equals speed in motorsports. It doesn't matter whether you're on a regular course, a street course, or an oval. The closer you get to the walls on the entry, the apex, and the exit, the more speed you can carry. The earlier you can go to throttle, the more speed on the way in. So it is extremely important to be all the way to the edge. And the difficulty with the street courses are it's bumpy. So a lot of times you come over the bumps and there's movements in the car that maybe you didn't have the lap before or you didn't expect, and those move you even closer to the wall. And so you always have to be on your game, ready to react. That's why street courses are so difficult mentally as a driver and physically.